Metroid Prime 3 is one of the greatest gems to have hit the Wii's library, and for good reason. A few a few years later, after Metroid Prime 2 echo success, Retro Studios and Nintendo worked together to make the next game for the Wii to hit its conclusion, at least for now, since we got a new one along the way. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, the game has a whole slew of a variety to go through. It's got different ways of using the Wii's remote controls. It's got a way of using the nunchuck, and it's also got a whole slew of mechanics to it. Like, say you're about to say you have to unlock a door to get through, you have to use the Wii remote in order to get the socket out and twist it and put it back in. And if you had to grab something with the electric whip, you just have to fling the nunchuck over to it and you pull it back. It's it's a whole lot more interesting, and it's got a hell of a, it's got it's got richer gameplay is what I'm trying to say. Rich gameplay. It's got a whole lot of new mechanics, and it's got a much richer and much more deeper style to it beyond just moving Samus around and trying to find new locations. Speaking of locations, you're going to be traveling to different planets. Like, you're going to be traveling to Norian, Brio, Elysium, and the Space Pirate Homeworld, which was pretty mind blowing to say the least. Even though I haven't even played the Metroid Prime trilogy when I was a kid, but you will also be heading to this GFS ship called the Valhalla in order to get some of these sockets in order to put them in. And along the way, when you're on the planets, you're going to be meeting these giant brain-like robot machine things called Aurora units, also called AU for short. One of them is called the Aurora Unit 313, and she is essentially your control, your chief, if you will. And there are also more characters, like you've got Admiral Dane, and you've also got these bounty hunters called Gore, Gandreda, and finally the goat himself, Rundus. I tell you, when I fought against Rundus when I fought against Rundus on my second playthrough, I actually shedded a few tears. I mean, the guy the guy was just too badass to kill off, at least for me personally. And watching Gore how Gore went out was too hard to watch, and Gandreda, let's just say that the way she died was pitiful, and the three of them, spoiler alert, they were killed by Dark Samus, who had seemingly resurrected from her last defeat on Ether. So, along the way, you will also be receiving gadgets like you'll be receiving the ice missile, the plasma cannon, and I forgot which one Gandreda had, but I think it was maybe X-ray vision or something. I forgot. If anyone knows, tell me in the comment section below. Anyway, you will also be fighting these bosses. Like, you'll be fighting Moganar, you'll be fighting Helios, and who can never forget Meta Ridley. But you're not just fighting Meta Ridley this time, but you're also fighting Omega Ridley. And that's where I get into the meat and potatoes of this. You're going into you're going to these planets to get rid of the phase on corruption, which is being occupied by these giant right, fragments or shards or whatever they're called. They're called leviathans. So you have to go through a whole slew of missions in order to get to the leviathan, and whenever you do, you got to go through a boss fight, and after you defeat the boss, you will be getting these phazon power ups. But the more you do, the more corrupted phazon, the more corrupted Samus gets as she takes in the phazon. Yeah, and in the beginning, after your mission on Norian, Dark Samus ambushes you, and she goes pretty rough on you. And sometime later, like a full month or two, Samus wakes up and she got that's this PED suit, which is attached to her chest. When during in certain the PED is basically the your your device for firing phazon, and whenever you do that, it you get extremely OP and you can take out space pirates and all all sorts of fauna one by one. But if you overuse it too much, you're going to become corrupted and you'll be essentially becoming another Dark Samus, which leads to a game over. Yeah, yeah, and let's just say that the final the final boss was pretty epic. I mean, you're fighting up against Dark Samus and you're fighting against that Aurora unit. I think that was 313. I'm not sure if your the other control was the Aurora unit, but feel free to feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. But anyway, this game was amazing. I mean, the game uses the Wii the Wii controls geniusly. It the characters are are awesome and emotionally impactful, and the story is very rich along with its lore. I mean, the the game it's an achievement, and even though I've never really played it as a kid, it won't take me a few more years until I finally beat Prime Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and I decided to buy a copy of it off eBay. It's I've beat this game a couple times, and well, in one of the secret endings, well, I think you can venture a guess as to what will be happening in the next game. But yeah, it's pretty wild to me that we're going to be getting another Metroid Prime game. And to tell you the truth, it was about time we finally got one. Yeah, I can't wait for next year. I know Nintendo and Retro Studios won't disappoint us, but if I think if I had to give this game a score, I think it would have to be a 10 out of 10 because I mean, this game is just so awesome. It hits you really hard and it's just awesome. Like totally awesome. But anyway, I'm I'm I have plans on I just I just beat Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess and I may or may not do a review tomorrow, but we'll see. I have a lot of thoughts for it, and that's not counting the new game plus. I mean, I may do a review of it, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later. But on a side note, I'm gonna be seeing Alien Romulus tomorrow, and it's gonna kick ass. I'll see you later.